Prince Harry on the verge truly of cracking up. That is, of course, what's coming out of the Montecito mansion. Rather alarming, as ever. Let me explain. Hi, good to see you. You all right? Yes, I'm all right. Yes, I know. Well, I'm asking. Yeah, it's always good to ask, isn't it? And also, thank you as ever for all your kind comments. And as I've mentioned in a previous video, I am trying my best with the BOTs, the bots. But it's just hard. You know, as I said, I don't know where these people come from or why they get in or why it's infiltrated. But I know a lot of you get as angry as I do. And as I said, you know, I do report them and all that sort of stuff. I don't know what it is you have to do, but I'm looking for things. If you know a system or a link to something, let me know, because they are annoying. And I think the vulgarity of them is terrible, but this is the problem, isn't it? You know, I mean, I'm as techie as probably many of you are, and you're learning as you're going along, aren't you? And you think, I didn't know about that. No idea. I know, it's like when you go scanning for shopping, isn't it? The thing tells you you've put the basket in the wrong place. You think, all right, you know, it's my fault again. Must have been off on the day that I did scanning. You know, you just never wanted to work on a till, did you? But suddenly you're now having to do that, bag your stuff and then tell yourself you've done a good job on the way out. And by the way, can I overhaul your data so I can send you endless offers that you're not interested in? You know what I'm saying, chums? It's a little bit like Prince Harry, who literally, many people are telling me on a more serious note, is literally on the edge, and really hardly surprising, because here is a man that's now engulfed in endless court cases. You know, we've seen him battling alongside the Mail on Sunday, the Sunday newspapers, all that sort of stuff. It really is mostly his own fault. There's no way, you know, you can get out of that. It really is all brought on by himself. And of course, just a week down the line, the shambles that is the Centre Barley scandal, which is really going to engulf him and any charitable endeavours. I've been told from an excellent source that now Invictus are looking over their, shall we say, remit to see exactly what's happened there and if there's anything that they should be truly worried about. And when you think about it, this is a man, you know, I do think this about Harry. He really did want to do the good things in the world. That was the idea. You know, I think he was charitably focused. And I think up until, of course, being married, and let's just be blunt, everything seems to have taken a turn on a nosedive. Now, many people may blame, of course, the former royal known as the Duchess of Sussex, but, you know, they're in it together, and he's always very vocal about her support. But you see, Harry basically has got the security issue coming up in a matter of days over here, which would be partly in private, but mainly in public. So that's going to be interesting. And however that comes out is going to be very detrimental to Harry and his mental health. Let me tell you, you know, huge costs for his and his wife's security over in Montecito, a sprawling mansion, many ways of getting in. And as he's publicly said on television in interviews, bottom line is he doesn't feel safe bringing his wife or his children over to the United Kingdom. Many dispute that and say, well, that's up to you. You chose to go live thousands of miles away, and apparently this is the land where you now call home. Why should the British taxpayer pay for that? And on top of that, as I say, there's an engulfing problem with the charity, and more so an engulfing problem with the newspapers that are not exactly going to plan. Also, more on that. The problem now is this. According to a source that's working alongside Harry, there are days of despair, literally the Duke in despair, seemingly because it's not the life that he thought he was going to have. This was, of course, the man on the Freedom flight who was literally turning against his family and sold out, many people might suggest. Years ago, when he had a problem, he had his elder brother to turn to in Prince William. And then only, you know, this was very masqueraded around the palace courtiers. They decided the imagery they were going to present. What you're basically seeing with Harry and Meghan is literally a man who's never ever had to take charge of anything. She's not interested, busy promoting herself, and more importantly, trying to launch herself on the world stage. So for him, he's dealing with all this boring, if you like, detailed work, the mechanics of life behind the scenes. And apparently, as I told you before, the therapist is literally very, very busy. Part of me actually does feel a little bit sorry for Harry in the sense of that I can understand, led by the nose, thought this was going to be great, and suddenly what he's realised is, and perhaps seen a bit of a light here at the end of the tunnel, life maybe have been sweeter and less stressful in the bosom of the British monarchy, where you were very much looked after and had no financial problems to boot. Either way, on a more serious note, people are saying that Harry is literally on the very edge. And some might suggest, who could blame him? It's hardly gone to plan, has it? Neil Sean in the very heart of Yorkshire.